It's a huge challenge, voice-wise and height-wise, when I have to speak after a towering personality like your district governor. They have given me a stool as well. A lot of arrangements to be done. Actually, thank you, Sanjay, for that. But it is a bit of a problem to stand on that because she is standing next to me. I'm making her stand next to me because I'm treating her as a human mouse now, a pointer, because I have some slides there in the background. I hope he will put it on. Rather than I pointing to him, I thought she will point to the technical person who is there far away from here. Jai Jagannath. Wonderful. It's in fact double joy for me and Sujata when we stand before you. One, it's like coming to a Sasur body. Having a Bengali wife, like in the popular book and the movie, Two States, I've experienced the real value of being a groom or Jamai whenever I have visited Calcutta. In Kerala, we are all very matter of fact, Be it a wedding, it gets finished in just about 2 or 3 minutes time. And the importance of being a groom or a bride ends within a few days and you're one among the crowd. And now we come back to Calcutta. The wedding itself can cross one full night, if not more than 2 days. And most importantly, the immense respect that as a Jamai or son-in-law commands in the Sasur body from the in-laws is awesome. When I embarked on my assignment as the RIPR to this district, the first thing Governor Pradim asked me was whether I could speak in Bengali. Then he went on to explain that a big majority of the delegates present speak Bengali, and it is almost like going to Bengal. So I feel I am back where I belong to. That is like my Sasur body. And I'm sure I'll get a huge amount of love and respect from you all as you are visiting Jamai Babu. Thank you, Dr. DG Pradim and Chairman Deepak for having me here and giving me all the warmth and affection. That is the first joy that I refer to. Now, the second joy is that I'm coming to a district which is very close to my heart, where I have many of my gurus present here. One is not here now, and he will join tomorrow. He was my director when I was the governor, past RA Director Kamal Sangvi, and darling Sonal, of course. Another one is a chairman with whom I have worked as his deputy, as joint secretary at the ODC Rotary Institute, none other than the tall PDG Sanjay Khemka and the adorable Meenakshi, whom I am missing here. And yet another one is my training leader, another guru at the GETS, the youngest, oldest, senior most PDG here, PDG Sandeep Narang and charming Anu, and last but not the least, my own colleague and batchmate, Gopal Khemka. I am missing Avida though. So it's indeed a feeling of bonhomie and sheer delight to be here when such stalwarts are at the receiving end for a change. I am the RI President's representative for today. Okay. Very good evening to each one of you, Governor Pradeep and Suchanda, Chairman Deepak and his firebrand partner, Rotary Deepali, PDG Sandeep Narang and Anu, PDG Ronald De Costa, Madam Poonam, whom I met here, PDG Sanjay Khemka, PDG Dr. Bharat and Madam Dr. Vijaya, PDG Gopal Khemka, PDG IPDG Rajan Gangotra and Anju, DGE Sanjeev Thakur and Poonam, PDG my good friend Deepak Shigarpokar, Mr. PK MK Singh IPS and Madam Manjula, Dr. Sambit Patra, who is going to address us very soon, my good friend and my aide, Rotarian Rajendra Sachdev and Madam Sujata, thank you for being with me. District leaders, assistant governors, the 7 host club presidents and secretaries and other president secretaries, club officials, Rotarians and friends of Rotary. First of all, let me thank our world leader, Rotarian Shekhar Mehta and Madam Rashi for giving us this opportunity to come here as their representatives. I bring greetings from them to all of you. The blessings have already been announced by him. In fact, I am supposed to be talking about that, but he has already given you the messages. The slides which are there were told by him to tell you, but definitely he has told you about serve to change lives. And that is exactly what he has been doing. He has been talking about going around the world in spite of the adversities, the tragic pandemic which we had. He is one man who led from the front. It is said that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And that's exactly what he did from the front, and that's exactly what all of us as Rotarians have done. Last 2.5 years, nearly 2.5 years, all around us, the entire world was shut down, locked down literally, but Rotarians were not to be. And our leader, by now he has traveled to more than 50 countries, irrespective of the fact that he was affected twice, hospitalized, but that never dampened his spirits. And that's exactly what the entire Rotary world was doing all throughout. When he said, grow more to do more, we did exactly that. If you look at India, the way in which we are growing, the growing membership, our zone 7 in India, has recorded the maximum, the highest number of members being added in a year, with more than 5,000 members being added. It's an answer to his call of each one, bring one. And of course, from 1.2 million to 1.3 million was his dream, and we are still striving to achieve that, notwithstanding the pandemic or the adversities which we are facing. Well, special emphasis, he said, you heard that about empowering girls. He talked about diversity, equity and inclusion, and we have been doing that, and we have the first ever woman leader coming over and taking charge next year. And that is what he asked all the clubs, all the districts to do. And the special one he called this time was the Rotary Days of Service. 2 or more clubs, be it Rotary Club or Rotaract clubs, can get together and non-Rotarian friends be invited in and commemorate days of service. The whole idea is to showcase the good things which we are doing. That's exactly what our leader is doing. He has been going across the world, sitting with world leaders, sitting with country heads, rubbing shoulders with the global maestros and sharing the success stories of Rotary. That's exactly what each Rotarian, each Rotary club, each Rotary district has to do. We need to share our success story. We need to share the stories of Rotary touching lives. That is what he meant by saying that. Now, of course, the broad spectrum to celebrate our good work around the globe and looking for new ways to serve beyond their backyards. And how did he ask us to do that? By having 7 Rotary International Presidential Conferences. And we are so lucky that we have one in India happening in Hyderabad this month itself. I was always saying next month, now it's this month. This month we are having from 29th of April to 1st of May, the Presidential Conference. And who is leading that? Our own Guru, Kamal Sanghvi. He is the convener of that. He is burning the midnight oil. Last week also he was there in Hyderabad with all of us. And this week also is going to be there. Let us all be there to make our leader, our world leader, so happy that we are going to have a mini convention in India. That is RI Presidential Conference. With all that, what he is saying, you heard just now, is that service is the rent we pay for the time we spend on this world, right? That we are hearing from the very first day since he has taken over. But let me extend one more point to that. It is not the rent we are just paying. It is an investment that we are making. It's an investment we are making in Rotary. It is not the money which we are talking about. It is talking about the investment of your time, your efforts, your talents. That is what we want to invest in Rotary. To do what? When you invest something, you get something in return. It is not that you are just investing and forgetting about it. It is to create a legacy. Rotary is our chance to create a legacy. a legacy for our club, for our district, for the society around us, and ultimately for ourselves. This is a chance we get. You must have heard about CSR. The slide is coming, I hope. The legacy part I'm talking about, the CSR we have heard about. What I would like to talk about is not CSR. CSR we are all very proud of. But CSR is unique for India, but something else is that what I would like to say, that is MSR. That is my social responsibility. My social responsibility is something which each one of us are doing, irrespective of whether we are in Rotary or not. We have the wherewithal to do something. That's why we are in Rotary. We are successful. We are leaders, acknowledged leaders, and we have the wherewithal to do that. But when we join hands with others, that is when we do what our leader said about the bigger, bolder projects. The bigger, bolder projects come when we do things through our Rotary friends and when we join hands together as a Rotary club or a Rotary district or Rotary International. The chance to do projects in a manner which we just couldn't imagine individually. That is what is Rotary all about. What is a project that way? A project is not something which we want to do. That is where we all make a mistake. A project is not what we want to do, but a project is something what the community wants us to do. That is what is to be identified. As a president's representative standing before you, my message to you is that each one of us, when we are engaged in our activities, keep our eyes and ears open. Just look around when we are going for any inauguration, any event, any fellowship activity, and see where the need is. The need will hit you. Once the need hits you, that's when you realize you have a project. I have a few examples which I just like to quote here. This is a picture which I saw in 2002 when our PDG Sandeep was the governor. We went as usual in the month of July. We all do that. Literacy month of July, we go around and give books and study materials to children, poor children. Our club also went to do that. In a small group, we went and gave some books and study materials to children. The parents were happy. While we were coming back, this was a backwater village near Cochin in Kerala. Very, very poor village. No water supply, no electricity supply. That's where we used to go and do our service activities. I saw a huge crowd like this. Lot of pots and buckets and all kept there. Because every alternate day, the government barge will come with water. And the children and the mothers and those who could spare their time, wait there for the barge to come, carry the water, walk hundreds of meters to their homes. It's drinking water. Then we discussed, why can't we have at least a pipeline put in the barge so that the water can reach the doorsteps. We cannot give water there as Rotary, but at least a pipeline can be given. That's when, some of our friends had a counterpart in Australia. They were coming in and we discussed with them. That's when we heard for the first time something called WCS website, World Community Service website. 2002 I'm talking about. We published this particular requirement there. Let me tell you, in 7 days flat, we collected almost 8 lakh of rupees in 2002. We put in some money and the money come from the website all across the world, and this pipeline was a reality and the water came to their doorsteps. One more example I would like to say. The next one. Can I have the next one? This is a pediatric oncology ward. You know how it happened? When I was a governor, I was taken to a hospital, the Ramakrishna Hospital, Coimbatore, where I was supposed to inaugurate the Gift of Life project there, the pediatric heart surgery. While I was taken out for a tour of the hospital, there was this small ward which was very beautifully decked up, very colorful with, pink colors and bright colors there. And I said, can I go in there? Then he said, it's a pediatric oncology ward. Went in there, I could see a lot of toys, stuffed toys, mobile phones, tabs, and children on all the beds. Only difference that most of them have their head mundaned. So I asked, how does it work here? He said, this is a free ward which is given by Ramakrishna Foundation. Any child affected with cancer, we try to give treatment free of cost. But now it is becoming difficult because our foundation is not getting enough funds. So we are actually reducing the number of beds slowly. I asked the club president, why can't we take over this particular ward? This is something. Then I asked him, how do you select the children? That statement struck me. The foundation trustee said, sir, for children, we don't look for the background. When your child is affected with cancer, you don't find out whether he's rich or poor. You are devastated. So the only thing which we can say is that, don't worry, we'll take care. So we take over the child. From that day, we work towards this global grant, $100,000 for the first phase, and that project is a free pediatric oncology ward of Rotary going on. And the last one which I would like to mention is something which is very close to my heart, because when similarly there is a hospital called General Hospital Ernakulam, where you can imagine the magnitude of the hospital when I say that 900 plus deliveries a month, that's the average, and 2000 OP a day. It's a government hospital. When we go there, I mean, there are around 16, 17 projects of Rotary running there. I went to inaugurate another project there. There I saw this particular, as a president in 2007, mind you, not as a governor. In 2007, when I went there, I saw this group of volunteers going around and giving bath to some poor patients there. They were lying in the veranda, under the bed. They were shaving them, dressing them up, giving them food. So I asked the superintendent of the hospital and asked, what is going on there? He said, they are self-help group people coming in to actually help the destitutes. They don't have a place to go. There is no treatment for them. They are palliative care, terminally ill patients, but no place to go. So we keep them in the veranda and under the bed. And they come here and bathe them, and because they can't do anything on their own. We came back, sat together as a Rotary group and said, why can't we have a home for these people? And we spoke to these volunteers and asked them, if we give a roof for these patients, will you be able to do the work, what you're doing in that place? There came this building. Can you believe that? This is a 13,000 square feet building in Cochin, made by Rotarians, which is called the Cancure Foundation Sandwana Kendram. It's a house of, compassion, and where we are housing 40 destitute patients. And there is a full-fledged 100% free dialysis center, a Rotary dialysis center also running in the ground floor, just to make it live, because we thought the palliative care terminal ill makes it very gloomy. So these patients come and go for dialysis. This happened all because of Rotary. So one thing I would like to tell you is that there is no project in Rotary which will not take off because of dearth of funds. Funds will be available. Don't worry about funds. Whether it is TRF, whether it is CSR, whether it is our own Rotarians money, whether it is crowdfunding, whatever you call it. But the project has to be genuine. Once the project has to be genuine means, I will give an example. If I have a project proposal, I make a brochure out of that. I make a kind of a folder out of that. Keep it on my table. If my friend Sandeep, not as a Rotarian, is coming to my office and having a meeting with me, he glances through that brochure, and if he asks me, boss, can I be also part of this project? Then you know that you have a project. You can't sell it. It has to be sold by itself. So once that happens, any project can be taken up by a club, by a district, and then sky is the limit. And that is what I said, the legacy which we talk about. The legacy which we can create beyond our lives. We are engineers, we are doctors, we are police officers, because we were made like that with our society, our family background, our education. But after that, what? That is what is Rotary. So let us create that legacy. And let me not get too much serious in this jamboree of a fun event. Jamboree is a time when we are going to celebrate. But celebrate for what? Just to share our thoughts, share our visions, share our experiences, so that we can take this back, as our world leader said, take this back to our clubs, so that we can improve upon what we are doing. We can touch more lives. We can be more useful, and we can make our lives useful. And when we are gone also, someone will say that this project was initiated when this man was there as a Rotary Club president, or a Rotary governor, or a Rotarian as it is. So let us enjoy our time. As our leader said, let us celebrate Rotary. There is no stress, there is no strain, but let us enjoy every moment of being together. And this is one such occasion. Let me tell you, this is the first conference I am attending after my own conference, when our own Kamal Sanghi was a chief guest there, with our chief minister also of Kerala being there. That was the last event happening in that particular hall. And now I am coming for a conference after that. Thank you so much for that. And wonderful event, Deepak and Deepali putting in all their might. I can see the energy levels, the electric energy of Deepali behind Deepak, and of course Suchanda and Pradim. Thank you so much for getting us here, and I'm looking forward to a great time together for the next 36 hours. All the very best. Enjoy Rotary.